to put in front of them, they'll both fight for it.
So these lineups have had some different looks. We saw Claire Chaussee slide in for Nena Mbono yesterday, and then today we're seeing Nena back in the match, as you see number 3 there in red for the Cardinals, and she's replacing Anna DeBeer, who's had quite a load and a really good weekend.
Now, don't let that surprise you, because Anna DeBeer is probably going to be nominated for Player of the Week in the ACC for the Louisville Cardinals. She's hit over 400 for the week. Only 2 errors on millions of swings.
Which, for an outside, is miraculous. Tori Dilfer serves to get us underway. And
the little one-arm dig.
Claire Chaussee, a nice job to keep it alive. And Banu dug.
Oh, call and touch.
So the touch will give the point to the Norse as you get a look at Anna Brinkman, wearing number 3. Back to serve is Anna Burke from Louisville Sacred Heart Academy. Northern Kentucky and Highland Heights, Kentucky, just south of Cincinnati. So certainly plenty of players from the area and familiarity from the club level. Jones with the tip. Tillman tries to send it across. The push.
Everything a little hectic right now.
Jones dug by Liner.
Out.
And a good swing in the middle there by Ali Sefki.
Out of bounds.
But the cut
good
is a little
miss
wide.
By the block.
Another look at this.
If that play was more towards the center of the court, that's an excellent play.
So Aiden Bartlett is in to serve from Leavenworth, Kansas. Saw her a little bit yesterday.
You can feel the vibe on the court right now is unsettled. Both these teams were ready to play about 45 minutes ago.
I think that combined with, I don't want to say exhaustion because these are really well-trained athletes, but this is the final match in 3 days, and it's the beginning of the year. Swing there from Brinkman. Here's Jones. A little difficult to get a ball to hit the floor so far for either of these teams.
I want to mention right now, nobody's taken a real full swing yet. Like, that had some power behind it, but that wasn't a full approach. That wasn't a full, we haven't seen a full anything on either side.
Well, and we recall Louisville likes to start in the middle. We've seen mostly right side, so we'll keep an eye on that.
That's a great serve.
Nice placement there by Brinkman. This is a squad that'll run a 6-2, which means there'll be 6 attackers, 2 setters, and Katie Yapko will exit. And now Miranda Wuker.
And you can see the pace that Northern Kentucky is choosing to run. They're shooting everything. That was a quick shoot to the outside.
I guess in layman's terms, Patty, the idea of the 6-2 as opposed to a traditional 5-1 is to have 3 attackers in the front row at all times.
Always 3 big people.
Nice
There's
block
Tillman,
there.
just like we teased in the beginning. She's always in the right place at the right time, patrolling the net.
Listed at 6'3", phenomenal athleticism, but I go back to it, it just seems like there's not a ball that she can't reach with those arms.
Go gadget arms.
Serving another player we're going to talk about, Elena Scott, the libero, has come on a fire, as that one, unfortunately for our crew, just hit the camera. And the Norse will even this one up at 3.
Checking out the camera. Everything's still good? We good.
2-time All-Horizon League selection. First team Brinkman with the serve. It'll be Jones for the Cards. Left side touch. Kept alive by Chaussee.
Oh, back bump.
Jones goes
by
line.
Dilfer. Oh.
And Sefki finds the floor.
I'm going to point out right now, this is a great time in the middle of that rally. There was maybe a little bit of a questionable set on the Louisville side, and you heard some groans in the audience. There is a lot of Northern Kentucky fans in the stands. Split crowd, a lot of yellow.
Dilfer explores the left side with Chaussee, and she is blocked.
That's tricky. When you set a ball from back at about the 20-foot line of the court, you're blinding your outside hitter. There's no way she can see a block setting up in front of her.
So Stevenson with Jones and Dilfer. Chaussee will be on that left side, and the rough set will have to
saying,
be
you're not
sent
doing
over.
it to me again.
Dilfer with the first touch. The bump set to Jones. Nice job by Kanakri to keep it alive. I think Scott wanted to go up in the stands, but they don't really
They won't allow
smile
it.
on that.
Won't allow it.
So the Norse off to a great start with a 6-3 lead. They lost the first set to USD on Friday, but then swept them somewhat convincingly. And then they were swept by Missouri.
And they beat South Dakota with a never say, or no, they beat Missouri with a never say die attitude. It was, you know, Missouri was a very strong blocking presence against them, but they just kept coming at them,
Great start for the Norse. We'll step away. So a 7-3 advantage for Northern Kentucky over number 12 Louisville. We previewed Anna Brinkman. She has 3 kills for the team, 7 points, and she is serving. Louisville looks a little disjointed, and that doesn't really help the cause, but a nice recovery there by Dilfer, and Stevenson puts it away.
You know, I think the number one difference in what's been going on good for the yellow team and bad for the red team has been the passing.
So Iko Jones from Kingston, Jamaica. Redshirt junior, 2-time first-team All-ACC selection. The whiff on the middle attack, but they get it over. Dilfer over on 2.
So there's the change. 2 good passes, 2 points for red.
So the Cards edge closer, 7-5. They have not trailed a whole lot. They've only lost 2 sets this season in their 5 wins, and those were both at Arizona State. A rough recovery there by Wuker. And a free one for the Cards.
Oh, wow. That was high. That was off the net, but she contacted it so high she was still able to nestle it in the corner.
Stevenson on the slide. Perfect timing, perfect set, and great placement there.
That's a great reach.
But net cam gives you a great look at it, too. Cards to within 1.
Great serve. Good push.
Back set from Kanakri.
Rough pass.
Chaussee tries to finesse one over.
She chausseed it.
Back row Brinkman finds the middle. So good placement there by Brinkman. As we mentioned, Mason, Ohio. Mason High School, the same high school that produced talk show host Dan Patrick, as a matter of fact, not far from the Norse campus. Good pass there, good recovery, and good tip. Great decision by Stevenson, the grad student from Lawrence, South Carolina. So Manu re-enters, and they'll give us our first look at Alexa Hendricks in the back row from Louisville Assumption, as Chaussee is back to serve. The Cards within 1. A little long on the serve, the error puts NKU back up by 2. It'll be Katie Yopko, the sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio, re-entering in the 6-2 rotation. The setter is back. She will serve.
It's a good pass.
A little strong from Mbanu, but they call a tip, and the Cards will clip it to 1 again. Stevenson, second-team All-American, first-team All-ACC, All-Region, some time with the U.S. national team. Transfer from Auburn.
Whoa. It's a big-time middle attack for the Norse.
So Sequoia Hunt from nearby Buckner, Kentucky.
Not even
Oldham
trying
County
to mix it up.
Yeah, Hunt saw the single right there, just northeast of Louisville, up I-71 towards Cincinnati. For the most part, for argument's sake, in her hometown.
That's a good choice.
Nice job by the libero to keep it alive as Burke got there. Another slide, and there's Tillman.
The North still have the lead, but the feeling on the court is not so. Just felt the momentum switch.
Tori Dilfer, another super senior, if you will, Los Gatos, California, transfer from TCU, is the setter of the year in the ACC. A third-team All-American. Good serve received there.
Good choice.
Right side, Riley Briggs with a swing, and the Cards unable to keep it alive. So Briggs, a junior from LaPorte, Indiana. That's up in the northern part of the state. And Anna Burke from Louisville Sacred Heart Academy is serving now for the Norse. A 2-point advantage. Bonner with a tip.
Well, they're calling hands on that.
Brinkman with a swing, but looks like a double hit ahead of that. Not a clean set.
Yeah. Just a little too much action.
Is that a danger with a 6-2 in terms of reps, or is that just
No. That was just a weird ball, and somebody else taking the second ball. That wasn't the second setter taking the ball.
This down official sometimes making it a little difficult to see over there. That's why we got the eagle eyes of my partner here. Brinkman.
That was a great shoot.
Great effort there by Elena Scott, but she can't get there off the touch. And the Norse, who jumped out to a lead, have done what they can to hang on to it. Now up 12-10.
They're doing it quietly.
Miranda Wooker, first team All-League, 5th in the NCAA with a pair of triple doubles from Brookfield, Wisconsin, due west of Milwaukee.
It's a great pass. That's how you do it. That felt like a normal swing. Good hustle.
Phenomenal effort there by
wow,
Brinkman.
that did squeak inside. What great hustle. Louisville won the point, but you cannot take anything away from the Norse for the effort that went into that play. That is incredible.
Jones, the luxury, as you get a good look at Aiko Jones, just the ability to hang in the air.
That was, I mean, she deserves extra credit for that one.
Anna Burke again playing in her hometown.
They're super happy with her effort. Had a chance to talk with Liz, the head coach, about her just before the match started, and just so happy with her. She's getting better and better with each time out on the floor.
I'll tell you what, you look around the Division I programs around the country over the last 10 years, and it feels like virtually every single one of them at some point has had a player from the city of Louisville, and a lot of them are back row players. We don't know if that's the full Sarah Drury effect or not, but
yeah, it's like where you go shopping for one.
It's a good system here in the city.
You go to Detroit for cars. You go to Louisville for a libero.
See if Northern goes quick. They do. Dilfer with the first touch. Here's Chaussee.
We've seen this a couple times for Chaussee now. She's getting handcuffed when she's taking a ball from over her right shoulder from the back court. She's got to figure out a better way or come off the court from a different angle to find that block in front of her.
It feels like the timing is just not quite there on that left side.
She's just got to locate the block. Maybe find a way to separate her eyeballs. Like have one eyeball find the ball up in the air and the other one come down and find the block.
That's another feat that the chameleon can achieve.
Yeah.
Good pass here. Quick
Nicely
middle.
done. Wow! Never say die.
Oh, what a reaction. Anna Stevenson. I was just going to say,
way to keep your hands up.
It's almost like boxing. Protect yourself at all times. You got to be ready.
Get the hands up. Get the hands up.
Down.
But get the hands up.
Her body going one way,
like
and the
your
ball
hands are
went
doing
the
nothing
other.
down at your waist. Keep them up.
Here's Jones with the jump. Gets a little tape. Well, we know 20 years ago that would have been an error, but now it is an ace.
And after 6 matches in 3 days, the net's saying, oh, just go over. Yeah. Just take it.
It has been softened up a tad,
yes,
I think.
It's a little on the looser side. Oh, well, the chicken wing.
They're going to say it hit the pin, I do believe, the antenna. Anna Burke with a nice
down
job
ref
keeping
was
that
all
one
over
alive.
that. Knotted at 14. What do we got? What's everybody got?
Ali Sefke serving, St. Ursula Academy, Cincinnati.
Ooh.
Good serve.
That we have not seen this weekend.
So the sophomore aces the Cards to break the tie.
So St. Ursula Academy serving a Mercy Academy, they've probably played each other a billion times individually.
And that's a really heads-up play by Sequoia Hunt, seeing where the defense was, but more importantly, where it wasn't. St. Ursula Academy in Cincinnati, I found, produced Heather Mitz, 3-time gold medalist for U.S. women's soccer.
Huh. You're just a treasure trove.
Well, we try to learn, like I've said. This is collegiate athletics.
Always learning.
I will say this, Patty. One thing we saw a lot from the Cards in their first 2 matches that we haven't seen is the block.
Yeah, where is it?
A service error will cure all ills.
And you know what? Credit the Norse to their quicker tempo.
Yeah, that high outside set is not something we've seen from Northern Kentucky.
And that's a lot. So you can look at the court right now and see it's a shorter. Oh, well, hello. Quick.
Joy Banks, the freshman from Macedonia, Ohio, trying to use the reflexes.
It's a measure of necessity, right? It's a shorter roster. You have to be quick and scrappy, but it's working. Oh, wow, just outside.
A little bit wide on the swing on the right side by Kanakari.
I like it, though.
And we're going to have a timeout here by the Norse. All knotted at 16 in
Interesting
set 1.
timeout. Interesting timeout. I wonder why she called it. I really like what I just saw right there. I like the swing. I like the setter's choice.
In 2018, and they won that Horizon title in the tournament in 19, but they have not won a regular season title. Maybe the most curious thing, this is the 20th meeting. It's 12-7 Northern. Louisville won the first, then Northern won the next 12, then Louisville won the next 6.
When did they play?
Well, these two teams have not met, funny you should ask, since October 22nd, 1984. An Orwellian.
So I worked with the team for how many years and never ever played Northern. But they played that many times. That's crazy.
And I think we're seeing the jump to Division I is kind of breaking that seal with a lot of the programs.
And if you look in the stands and see how many yellow shirts are here, that's exactly why you would never play this team, because you don't ever want to have that fluke lose your home court advantage.
They play in Regents Hall up in Northern Kentucky. The quadruple hit as that one spun around on Sequoia Hunt.
You know what, though? If you go to that campus right now, it's such an incredible vibe. Everything is on the up.
Jeff Walls will tell you that.
There's a lot of good stuff happening there.
Dan Meskey, Todd Chamberlain, Linda Hampton, Keith round out the coaching staff for Danny Busboom Kelly as Dan has some instructions for the squad. 17 even. Louisville slips ahead 18-17.
Oh, great dig.
And this could be a pivotal swing. Looks like we have a Cardinal in the net as Briggs swung on the right side, and we're even at 18.
Do you know what? I think that's a really late call from when she was in it on the attack. Oh, it's on the block on the land.
Looked like the hip maybe caught the net.
Cut that ponytail.
Bump set left side, Mbanu. This will be a back row swing. Kept alive by Chaussee, even though it looked to maybe be long. And there's Burke again.
Oh, wow, that's down.
And Riley Briggs with a convincing swing. All
you know
freshmen.
what? I think that's what. Remember, I said, why'd she call that timeout? There was that big time lefty, that big time right side swing that was just outside, and you could see that Louisville did not have a hand on it. Oh wow, nice job with the overpass.
Brinkman
I think she was saying, listen, we just exposed something. Let's go back and hit that.
And while Louisville is by no means out of the first set at 2018, this is not the same Louisville squad we have seen the last 2 days. Is there an Anna DeBeer effect, do you think?
Louisville's ability to be the great blocker by shooting things and not letting middle blockers be a part of everything that's going on the net.
Katie Yapko is part of it, the 6'2" attack. sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio, Lake Catholic High School. Worked in the 6'2" last year in tandem with the senior Miranda Wuker. But right now it's Yatko that's on the floor. She's played well so far this weekend.
You know, it's tough for a 6'2" setter to impact a match, but she's doing a great job at it. You know, sometimes you feel less impactful if you're being on and off the floor, or just not always being the one deciding who gets to put the ball away.
I mean, you have the advantage of getting rhythm and timing with a certain set of attackers, but at the same time, you're going to sit on the bench every set for a few pauses. So it's an interesting adjustment as Joy Banks is set to serve. The freshman, all-time kills leader at her high school, and handcuffed by that serve.
Good ball.
And that's Nena Mbanu from Spring, Texas, Klein High School, down in that Houston metro area. Gets the Cards to within one with Tori Dilfer now in the back and serving, and that's a good sign if you're a Louisville fan. Mbanu joined by Jones and Tillman.
This is a really good rotation for Louisville. This is where they do like to score a lot of their points.
Chaussee can swing from the back, and of course the libero Scott joining Dilfer, who's serving.
Out of rotation.
Wow, had an overlap here by Northern. The down official is on top of it. Sometimes that is a product of an assistant coach on the other team saying, hey, keep an eye on this, but it may have just been a little confusion as Liz Hart, the head coach of the Norse, tries to sort things out, but that is bad timing to lose a point there.
That's also a 6'2" situation.
So even at 20, excellent pass, a little tight.
Oh, good talk.
Dilfer fortunate that she didn't get a piece of that.
She was trying.
Her eyes got as wide as saucers just now in the huddle.
Which is tough for her. It's got to be a serving strategy for her to be serving out of zone 5, but she's playing defense in zone 1, and she's had no idea where she was on the floor when she came over here.
So a timeout hitter, so to speak, in terms of a lot. Brinkman leads the way with 5.
So basically, what all of this tells us is we don't know who's going to be in control of this match yet. Nobody's taken the reins yet.
You never want to levy any sort of broadcaster jinx, but you get the feeling that 25 may not win this first set.
No. And if we're
I don't want to get into the 30s.
Well, you know, if we're going by what's happening this entire weekend, 25 is definitely not going to win this
the first match today was, even though it was 3-1, was incredible. And that's
God
South
bless
Dakota
them,
squad.
they looked exhausted.
Yeah, they really did.
They were begging for somebody like, listen, can we just say whoever reaches 25 wins?
Jones is kept alive by Banks.
Back row. It's the first back row we've seen.
And Banks sails the back row. I tell you what, that play right there, that swing by Jones didn't result in a point. But Elena Scott, the libero, once again got to a ball. And not only did she keep a tough ball alive, but Tori Dilfer didn't have to move to make that set. So 22-20 Louisville. The arena quiets as though we're on a golfing green. Back set, big swing by Briggs. Briggs has been stout on that right side.
And I do think that the Northern Kentucky coaching staff saw the difficulty that Louisville had with the lefty from Mizzou and are trying to play on that with their own. Overpass. Oh, kept alive. But not for long.
Great play by Chaussee, but they can't get the break out of it. And just like that, we're even at 22.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and maximize their own lefty.
Another good serve by Burke. Brinkman. Here's Briggs. The killer bees, if you will.
That's nice spot.
Nice swing by Bonner. She lists her hidden talent as tumbling. I'm not sure how excited the coaches are with her maybe sharing that talent, but certainly.
Or pursuing it.
Well, fact. But her hobby is knitting. So you talk about the tumbling knitter. It's,
as long as you don't do the two things at the same time.
Do not do them at the same time. 23-22 Cards. That's Aiden Bartlett set to serve. The Kansan fires one far corner.
Yeah, that's how you lose a knuckle.
And the back row block is a dangerous, dangerous proposition. Katie Yopko.
So the setter for Northern is saying, but I put my fist up, but as long as that fist was over the height of the net, she's still considered back row attack.
It doesn't matter how you shape the hand, it's where it is. And Liz Hart is getting a discussion in with the down official as Bartlett is awaiting.
She was over the height of the net. You can review it if you want.
This is a pivotal spot right here.
I'm going to raise my hand and offer my 2 cents. She was above the height of the net.
24-22 set
That's
point.
that competitive nature.
Fans on their feet here.
It's a great serve.
Brinkman.
Going back to the left.
Here's Briggs. Where does Dilfer go? Middle.
Finish.
And just squeezing it in is Tillman to pick up the set for the Cardinals. A great.
The numbers say it, but it really wasn't indicative of what Louisville can do. I think we're going to see a different set this time around. I think it's going to look a little different.
Well, and I hate to jinx anything, as the announcer typically does, but there were 2 service errors, and there were 7 attacking errors, which 7 errors in a set that goes 22-25 is pretty extraordinary. So, boy.
I am crazy impressed with Anna Brinkman. For the whole tournament, she's done incredible stuff, but I was like, you can't keep that up for 3 days, and she really did. To go to as many times as they do.
This is Jones to start things out in set 2, and Aiko Jones is able to get her feet under her. She was 3 for 11 with an error, hit just 182. She had the most opportunities of anybody in that first set, but was not quite as successful as it was Brinkman with 6 to lead the way. I believe the Cards lost the first point of each of the 3 sets yesterday against USD, curiously enough, and in the set 1 here.
Oh, great serve.
A little too strong on the left from Brinkman, but they got the touch out of it.
Honesty, love it.
So Dilfer up front now with Stevenson and Jones. Chaussee, along with the 2 defensive specialists in the back.
Use
and
that
Chaussee
block.
tools the block.
That'll help Claire's numbers. Rough first set for her. Everybody had incredible hitting percentages except for Chaussee.
So Jones back to serve, and the bench with sequence number 24, whichever that one is. Great play there by Bartlett. Burke. Yopko, and there's Scott on the other side.
Getting some air.
Little miscommunication.
Psych.
Jones sends it over. Now Briggs. Just wide.
Good communication over here.
Boy, some defensive play on this left side of the net by the Louisville Cardinals from Aiden Bartlett and the libero Elena Scott, who you get a look at right there.
Really good hustle on both sides. Really, really good hustle.
Freshman from Mercy Academy. The hitting percentage, I never want to insult the volleyball aficionado that most likely knows a lot more about volleyball than I do, but if you don't understand it, it's like a batting average, except you take away the errors.
Wow. That's the block we've been looking for. Just that we've seen the last few days and not really seen today.
Not bad, too, when you can get the setter involved on that block as Dilfer joins Stevenson. You can have a negative hitting percentage if your errors outnumber your kills. That was Brinkman left side. Now the slide from Stevenson. Sometimes, Patty, I feel like the slide is a little bit like throwing to the tight end in football. You kind of wonder, why don't they do that more often?
Yeah.
It's easier said than done, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely, in a 5-1 situation, which Louisville's playing, you do it when the setter's in the front row. You just want to utilize the whole length of the net and utilize where the setter's eating up some net space.
Cards have jumped to a 5-1 advantage in set 2.
Oh, wow. That's a good block.
So a left side block for the Cardinals defense. after the right side block, and that brings a timeout very quickly from the Norse. Timeout, Northern Kentucky. Louisville leading this one 6-1. We will step. 6-1 advantage for the Cards. Set 2. Looking to remain undefeated and champions of the Cardinal Classic in 2021. Iko Jones with the serve. That handcuffs the Norse. Good athletic play by Brinkman to get the swing, but she sends it wide. Brinkman had 21 kills in their first 2 matches. She had 21 against South Dakota on Friday night and has been the leader in this match with 7, but couldn't quite square that one up. And
she'll get there.
now we've got the mopping
extravaganza. It's been so humid in this facility all weekend because of the rain that I believe it should be mandatory that everybody carries a towel in their spandex.
Good serve by Jones. Kept alive by Liner. The block by the Cards. Yapko goes back to Briggs. Bartlett keeps it alive. Here's Chaussee.
Great second ball. It's over.
Overpass. Good decision.
Good choice.
And Dilfer says we only need 2.
I am done with this.
Sometimes you want to disguise the over on 2. Not so much this time for Tori Dilfer. Good job there again by Lillian Liner from Indianapolis.
Right after Tori put it down, Iko came over and said something to her, and I think she said, "I'm ready for back row if you want." I think that's what she said.
Well, and many times this will be a rotation.
I think she's gonna. Yeah. I think that's what she said.
It can be a little tough to get out of a rotation sometimes with the setter up, but the Cards are thriving with Iko Jones' service. It's 9-1. We'll see if she gets that back row attack.
I'm interested to see what has changed that made it where Stevenson can now close both sides of the net, even though they're,
Yeah. The overpass always elicits a groan. And I think we've got another timeout here. Northern Kentucky, after battling in set 1.
I would call it as well.
As being drubbed by the Louisville Cardinals 10-1 to this point here in set 2. There you see Liz Hart in her 12th season speaking to her team. GLVC Player of the Year in 08. Honorable mention All-American twice. Our first team All-American. Regional Player of the Year as her senior. All-time kills leader. And there's Anna Burke playing in the back row. Not going to see swings from Anna typically, but the Sacred Heart Academy libero obviously has libero. She gives you some incredible perspective on 2 of the major components of the game of volleyball when it comes to teaching. This is Briggs.
I'm telling you what, though, if her coach, Coach Pettit would have asked her to play middle, she'd have played middle. It doesn't matter.
3 Big 12 titles, single season Diggs leader. And you know what? It's one thing to go from libero to setter, but it is a humility thing. It is a big time ego check and a huge credit to an athlete to go from setter to libero, because you're going from setter
outside hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're quarterbacking the team, and then you are relied to be in the back. Northern gets a point and gets out of that schneid. Adjusting to the set is Stevenson on the slide. There's Scott again.
From nowhere. Still up. Chaussee. Oh, little heat. That was complete discombobulation from the Louisville front row. As soon as Stevenson went outside for that first slide, she never got back to the middle. She actually was pushing Dilfer to cover, and then nothing got back to normal after that.
So Brinkman puts it away. There's a look at Miranda Wucher, the Brookfield, Wisconsin first team All-League selection. Won Player of the Week honor last year in the Horizon League. 3-time All-State at Brookfield Central.
Great block, just couldn't turn it in.
Brinkman got the hand on it, but couldn't square it in. As you get a good look at Anna Brinkman. And a nice swing again on that slide from Anna Stevenson.
She was just floating and could not finish and turn those hands in.
Boy, good idea, but a little strong
just
on the
a
push.
smidge.
It's 11-3, make that 12-3 Cardinals. Stevenson now with 7 kills, Brinkman with 8 to pace the Norse.
Norse need another outlet. There you
Luker
go.
goes backside.
There you go.
And spinning it through is Abby Canacri from Grosse Pointe, Michigan.
Great movie.
She had some excellent performances in the postseason in 2019 with 10 kills against Michigan in the NCAAs. And she's been on the Horizon League All-Tournament team. So the lights get brighter and Canacri gets better. Good swing there. We get a look right there at Elena Scott, the libero from Mercy Academy, a freshman. The libero wearing a different colored uniform. They sub in and out freely. And she has been tremendous for the Cardinals in the first 5 to 6 matches of her career. Nice swing right there. Once again, Canacri on the right side. And the right side's been a bit of a problem for the Cards. And Scott comes back out on the court.
Short-lived. She gets her break is about time to squirt that water bottle and then come right back out.
So Hendricks with Chaussee and Scott, and the service error will flip the script. Aiko Jones re-enters for Alexa Hendricks. Now you've got Tillman, Jones, and Banu with Chaussee. This is that rotation we mentioned with Dilfer serving for the Cards.
This is a big one for them.
14-5, Louisville leads in set 2.
And for some reason, it's always the rotation that the crowd gets quiet. It's like Tori Dilfer sent out a memo.
I was just going to say those exact words. I missed that
Dear
cheer
fans.
sheet.
Dear fans, I'd like to serve when it's quiet.
And we talk about the attacking with 3 in the front, but you forget the blocking's pretty good too. This is a great look too, watching them anticipate, and Tillman wasn't going to get over there in time, but she didn't need to.
That was all Nana.
And Bono with the block, and the Cards with a 15-5 advantage. A good look at Tillman right there, the defensive player of the year in the ACC.
Oh, what a dig.
Chaussee right into Dilfer's hands. Jones.
Oh, great dig too.
Canacri, and this will be a free one for Louisville. Jones is tipped, and Brinkman keeps it alive. Bonu pushes it through.
Good job by Burke.
Canacri. Chaussee is there. A little tight to the net.
Handcuffed. She was handcuffed. Couldn't do anything else.
Are you serious?
Wow.
How about the solo middle
What
block?
a great rally, though. What a great, great rally.
That's good volleyball. I mean, that's an eraser right there.
It really is.
Usually when you got single in the middle, that means you can hit it either side. You can cut it or you can go far side.
Right now they're discussing Tori Dilfer's send over the net.
Oh, wondering if the hands were above the net? Yeah. Tillman, as you saw that replay, she kind of went straight up, but her hands went to the left, and that's where that size and length is an advantage. Adjusting and making the block. So after a tight first set, this one has been all Louisville, and finding themselves in a good rotation here. Good serve.
Great hustle by the center.
And the Cards in the net as Joy Banks swings away. And that'll bring back Katie Yapko, the setter, a sophomore in this 6-2 format. Louisville still hitting a lusty 375.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Burks.
Well, I tell you what, Anna Burke earned her keep right there.
Anna Burke.
But unfortunately for the Norse, it doesn't benefit the squad. The Cards gather the point. That was a fierce swing by Tillman.
That's when you stand up and say, uh-huh, bring it.
Yapko goes back, and that again
Sean.
is Briggs. I always hesitate to reach out for a ball in case someone wants to get it, and my biggest fear is not getting hit by the ball, but getting punched in the face by a player trying to play the ball. I've had the glasses knocked off my face in warm-ups.
This is a warm-up.
I remember once telling a sports information director that was new to the sport during warm-ups, I said, the other team tends to cut the ball a lot in warm-ups, so have your head on a swivel. And he's like, oh, I know. No sooner did I say it that a ball hit him in the face, hit his laptop and bent it straight flat backwards and hit him in the face again. And it was all I could do not to laugh at the poor guy. But I don't think you really can appreciate the speed at which this game is played until you're there. Big mistake on the overpass, and Brinkman cleans it up. So a lopsided start, the Norse scratching their way back at 17-8. Not a good time for a service error.
No.
Just the second. And here is Scott back to serve. Actually, there it is, the third. Our crew's right on top of it. Each team with one in the first set. That's two now by the Norse in set two.
Way to go, high hands.
Chaussee.
Oof.
Nice job by Banks, but a little strong. And Banks saying, well, I don't know what else I can do right there.
Yeah.
19-8 Cardinals. Kills relatively even here. Stevenson's 8, Brinkman's 9, leading their respective teams. Briggs with a finesse. Thought maybe there was a touch there, but it drops in the red. And the Cards continue to roll in set two. From my experiences, from a perspective standpoint, is Briggs gets a nice swing off. With the 25 scoring point system, 12-13 is pretty lopsided. 25-12, 25-13, that range. So that kind of magnifies how well the Cards have played here in set two.
Oh, good save. That's a great set.
Nice little punch through by Sefke, the sophomore from Cincinnati. 20-10 our score. I oddly had I don't know if I call it the honor of seeing it, but I twice saw 15-0 sets back in the old side-out scoring days.
Oh, yeah, there's lots of those. 15-0, 15-1s.
You being the veteran saw a lot more than I did.
Yeah.
Here's Jones. And we've got a net fault. (21-10) our score. There's a look at Anna Brinkman, senior from Mason, Ohio. We're going to get a little floor work done here, but 9 kills. Those 5 errors
have all been
bringing
recent.
that swinging percentage down.
Yeah, those have all been recent, and I want to like take that down. You know what I mean? Like she's outworked what that hitting percentage says. She's worked harder than what those numbers say. She's doing all the work for this crew.
And we've noted the success they've had is right on cue.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Has to hit into a block. But we've talked about how successful they've been on the right side. And I think a lot of that is because Louisville knows that Brinkman's swinging over on the left side.
She's getting everything, yeah.
It's kind of like having that outside linebacker freeing up the defensive end on the other side of the football.
Right. And every time Louisville's swinging so hard and every dig that comes up, every non-perfect pass, it's going to her. She's taking every odd swing.
Jones gets her money's worth on every serve. And right now, name, image, and likeness might think about getting a roofing company to work with these Cardinals.
Be an excellent marketing choice.
The block there from Stevenson, joined by Chaussee. And the Cards 2 away from taking a 2-0 lead.
Excellent pass. That's another thing Brinkman's doing for them.
Pancake by Chaussee. 3-1 for the Norse.
Ooh.
Wow. We'll just watch and enjoy.
See, Brinkman gets that moving.
Chaussee. There's been some good volleyball. Cards are now within a point of putting this set away. The L&N Federal Credit Union Arena fans are on their feet. 24-10. I feel like Aiko Jones has served more than half the points in this set.
Aiko or Tori.
And she'll try to get one more for the Cardinals. Yapko will go to Brinkman. Nice cross court. Patty, as you approach a ball to hit it like Anna did right there, how much time do you have to take a peek at the block, take a peek at the back row, and know where you want to place that? If you're going to go line, if you're going to cut it, if you're going to go cross court, it's miraculous.
You've got time if you keep the ball in front of you. And if it's a good set. If those two things aren't there, it's non-existent.
There's the back row opportunity for Jones. Set point once again.
Nice job.
Bartlett keeps it up. Here's Chaussee. Card's not willing to go away just yet. Norris trying to find the floor.
It's
Canacri.
tricky. Well done.
Good hands by the fan. Abby Canacri, the Michigander from just northeast of Detroit.
She did a great job because that was a tricky second ball.
Third set point for the Cards.
That's a free
sends it long.
end of the game.
That's ill timing for a service error, but it seemed like that one was academic regardless. 25-12, the Cards are able to capture set 2 and take a 2-0 lead. We'll step away.
Who's on Louisville's schedule for next week? They got swept by Creighton. So that's going to be an interesting redirect. We're going to see when the next ranking comes out where they slide to and see where Louisville and Kentucky rank nearer each other.
And don't sleep on those folks down in Bowling Green.
Absolutely
They've had just a great job at Western Kentucky, undefeated on this 2021 season, and a team that the Cards had to get through to get to Texas in that magical run as that banner hung here for that Elite Eight in 2019 for the Louisville Cardinals. You can assume there's going to be a good rotation to start a set, and so it will be Dilfer back to serve for the Louisville Cardinals.
Who called that as the good rotation? Who called that?
Assists, something we don't really talk about a ton. Dilfer with 47 to lead the way. Brinkman. Banu has to reset. And the footwork just wasn't quite there on the timing, but I think we had a net
violation.
So Northern in the net. You just feel like Brinkman's got a lot on her shoulders.
Yeah,
and there it is,
can see it
the
right
forearm
there.
right there on the tape.
You know, as you get into the waning points of a 3-day tournament, it's harder to control your body when you're in the air. It's a good dig. Uh-oh.
Nice job by Dilfer to keep it alive, but Chaussee can't get there. I think it's fair too, Patty, that, you know, early in the season, obviously your conditioning is good from your preseason training, but when you get into the regular season, the conference play, you're only playing twice a week for the most part.
Right.
You're not going to play 3 games in 3 days, not to mention playing last night at 6 and again at 1.
Right.
It is going to wear a little more than normal. I guess testing the mental fortitude as much as the physicality.
So then you think out loud, well, why do you do this? Well, it's because you need to play the matches that you need to help your RPI for all those, you know, closed door meetings about who's going to be seated where in the NCAA tournament, and you got to play winners of other conferences.
Alexa Hendricks back to serve. I think one thing about this too is we get some moisture control on the floor. That I think all 4 teams in this tournament are going to head home with some major positives out of this as you get a look at head coach Danny Busboom Kelly.
You can see the 3-day tournament wearing on her too. Look at the whole staff.
The veteran.
They're waiting on the whistle. There we go.
Sideline reporting for Nebraska radio volleyball, Danny Busboom Kelly.
How many years ago?
It's been a few. It's been a few, but nice to know she can come in out of the bullpen if needed. That ball is sent wide on the swing from Joy Banks. Northern Kentucky 2-2 on the year. They opened with Ohio State and Ohio. The Buckeyes ranked in the top 15. And they split those.
That's a great pass. Back row.
Nice job adjusting to that set, but the Cards keep it
Ooh,
going.
what a shoot. Still going.
Not done yet.
Here we go.
See if they play quick. Dofer does. Tillman.
Still
Beautiful
going.
play there.
Burke for the second ball. Still going.
The set Wuker with a nice job to keep this point alive. Who's going to win? Chaussee.
Oh.
Jones with the reflex, and Scott couldn't quite get the chicken wing up.
How many towels are we going to need right now? That's the most important question.
We're going to need an absorbent quilt. As you see the block there. And
let's just get the mops.
I don't think we were able to see it there. Just we began to see it, but I think it was Kanakri that just, you saw the shoulder slump like, I don't need these really long points anymore.
I love the action, though. Love the action. Love that everybody kept going.
Got to look at Elena Scott, too. There's Claire Chaussee. Scott is so fearless.
Yeah, love it. Go, go, go.
I will say that about both of these Libros as we see
But
Anna
you know
Burke
what?
with the serve.
Time out. These kids are used to playing this many matches in one day in Junior Olympic volleyball, in club ball, or in even high school volleyball. Like this weekend alone, I'm sure their high school teams just played this many matches in one day yesterday. So they're watching this on TV going, suck it up.
Yeah. There's probably just as much demand on the coaches as anybody when it comes to scouting, even though you know your opponents.
Scouting, recruiting. I'm sure they've all got recruits in and families in. They've got to eat meals with and
Jones
talk to.
Into the upper deck off the touch. Cards break a 3-3 tie. Scott from Mercy Academy debating on what that major is going to be here. There's the whiff, but it spins over the tape. Here's Chaussee.
Way to use the hands.
We haven't really seen Claire pound one down to the floor, but boy, she's had a lot of kills where she's been able to tool the block.
Yep.
Look at this English. That's what the net cam's made for. And Claire gets the first touch, gets back defensively, and was able to put it away. Middle swing by Kanakari, and another block for the Cards. We went over stats, and Patty, that's the one I forgot to point out. I think it was 2-1 in favor of Northern in the first set. The Cards with 6 blocks in set 2, a big part of it.
That helps bring it up.
Anna picking up her 5th block, .615 hitting percentage.
I mean, just proving that her awards of the last year are not a fluke.
Yeah.
You know, she's backing up everything she's won.
Timeout for the Norse. 7-3 advantage for the Cards here in set 3, 2-0 in sets. Scott with the serve.
You know what? The net's tired.
The tape has been kind to both teams. That time the Cards take advantage of its decision. Scott looks over for the single-digit representation of what
great serve.
area they want to serve, and she executes rather well. Kanakari with a tip. Hendricks keeps it alive. A free one for the Norse. Bump set. Boy, oh boy.
On the Card side.
Joy Banks can only smile. That's a great swing by Banks.
Sure was.
But Iko Jones puts up a brick wall.
Yeah.
That was a tremendous swing by the freshman from Ohio.
That is going to be a fun replay for her to watch.
Yes. Couldn't quite get the hands into the net in time. And the humidity with overnight rains in the Ohio Valley continuing to wreak havoc on the squad. Dilfer goes to Jones.
Tight.
She kind of throws that to the floor. So here we're in the rotation that was so favorable to the Cardinals. Iko with 7 kills now in the match after denting the surface with that.
The bench helping her with her serve. I think that's what it is. I think that's what helps.
Cross-court winner there. As we see Joy Hunt again, or Joy Banks again with a serve. Banks serving. Dilfer with a tough set to handle. Louisville's able to hang on to it. Stevenson doesn't get a swing. They'll go Chaussee.
A lot of tipping going on.
Push to the corner. Banks is there. Stevenson gets out of the way. Chaussee swings. Nice job from Yako to keep it light. And
Great
then the
spot.
swing from Brinkman.
Anna Brinkman.
Always said it's not
Looking
how
to the
hard
floor.
it's where, and that's
a
something
great spot.
Brinkman's done a super
She
job
really
of.
likes that corner. It's not exactly in the corner. It's like a few in.
There is some size on the Louisville roster, and there is a formidable block, which we saw 6 blocks in the last set, and there's one of the big reasons why. Of course, Amaya Tillman, Defensive Player of the Year in the league, but getting a lot of help from Iko Jones and Anna Stevenson. And as
She connects great with both of those middles. It's a lot of communication. It's a lot of linking her left shoulder up with their right shoulder, and they do it wonderfully.
Service ace here as Dilfer gives chase. I need to look into the Louisville record books. I don't know if Jennifer Hoffman has the block solo record, but you have to wonder if some of those records might be in jeopardy down the road here. There have been some good ones at the University of Louisville.
She had the, because I know she was the NCAA season holder.
Another ace.
I'm trying to remember.
So Joy Banks working off the momentum of that big swing she got with the kill. Iko Jones, southeast of Cleveland, Macedonia, Ohio. Patty, did you know that's the same high school that Mark Foster, the front man for Foster the People, is from? I was going to segue that in when they actually played Foster the People here. No. But I always want to keep Bobby on his toes with music trivia. So that moisture control nugget brought to you by Foster the People.
Oh.
2 consecutive aces, nearly a third Chaussee from the back row, and the Norse with some nice momentum, looking to even this one at 9.
On Louisville's side again.
And the cards just
they definitely
not
both
quite
went
closing.
into that as a swing block. You can see Chaussee taking a step in and came in on Stevenson.
So we'll get our first look at Mia Stander. Played in 24 sets in 2020. From Atlanta, Georgia, Marist, her A5 club, won the national title in 2016.
Oh, she decided to pass that at the very last second.
Chaussee is dog.
Great pass.
Hendricks cleaning up the tip. Chaussee met at the net. Quick set middle, and there is Sequoia Hunt from Buckner, Kentucky.
Came just in under the hands of Stevenson.
So the Norse have taken the lead. After getting dominated in set 2, they have made a nice statement here in the third. Serve receive
Coach
has
Liz
been
gets
a
a
problem.
point for that timeout then. There's that swing that you were talking about needing from Chaussee. That was the strong swing.
And here's a look. Tell you what, you got to give a lot of credit to Tori Dilfer too. That was a back to the net bump set, and she put it right on the tape for Claire Chaussee. Cross-court serve is handled by the Norse. This is Briggs. And Banu has to adjust.
It's a great dig.
Stander with a great pass. Dilfer over on 2. The Norse up to the task.
Touch.
Dilfer back set slide. Stevenson got it. Tori Dilfer directing traffic very well. 24 assists, 4 digs, 2 blocks. Dilfer on point. There's the
pops.
There's the longtime NFL quarterback, Trent. Proud dad.
That point was all her too. That point was back to Louisville volleyball. That was a normal point. Ball came to her. She sent it over feeling like she could run things. Ball came back over. She ran the show. She ran a slide. It was definitely at her command. When things run at Tori's command, it's a good thing.
I think she went left side. She went middle on her own on first or second contact, and then she went right side on the slide. And you can see setters sometimes being stubborn and continuing to set a side that's not working, and I think that's the veteran in her. So even at 11 apiece, see where Tori goes here.
Woo!
It's Mbanu with a good swing.
Good.
After that first time out, I was doing some quick math. Tillman, Stevenson, and Mbanu had combined to have 11 kills on 28 swings without an error, which is just remarkable.
That's an impossible batting average.
So Stevenson back to serve. A fan
Nice
of the
serve.
TV show The Office, as are many. Briggs with a swing off the touch. So this set much more like the first than the second.
Yes, it does.
It's a good
Yep,
swing right
that's a
there, and
touch
it was
right there.
Mbanu.
This feels a lot like the first in that the Louisville block is not effective.
And right on cue, it's Anna Brinkman showing off the Norse block.
And they're having fun.
You know, it's funny too. A big kill can bring a lot of energy, but there's nothing more exciting, I think, in volleyball for the team than a solo block.
Yeah.
It's just something very energizing.
It feels like more points.
It's demoralizing.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to work that way.
Right. Feels like more points.
So the Norse up 13-12. Let's a look at Miranda Wucher.
That's a good pass. Ooh.
The reach of Tillman salvages that attempt. Standard.
Rough.
A joust.
Watch it over.
We are all over the place on this point.
They're screaming for back row.
A free one for Mbanu. And she puts it home.
Dan Metzke screaming for back row on the second touch over there. But they got the point anyway.
So now Mbanu, Jones, and Tillman will be in the front. Chaussee and Scott in the back along with the server Dilfer. This is a rotation that saw the Cards thrive in set 2.
And it was a situation when there was maybe a question about the direction of the set. And this was the rotation that put it away.
Beautiful
So we'll see what happens here. That was gorgeous.
Good block right there. Kanakri teaming with Sefke. And the Norse more effective blocking in this set than they have been in either of the previous two, and more successful than the Cards at this point.
I don't know if it's a situation that the set ball is getting too tight to the block, or the hitter is getting too close to the block, that they can't see what's happening.
Chaussee from the back. Nice job by Wucher. Kanakri sends over a free one, a little tough to handle.
Ball. That's a
Big
great ball.
Block. They'll try Jones.
Holy moly,
Cross
great
court.
back row.
Dug by Wucher.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Does anybody want to win this point?
Absolutely. Everybody does. That's why they're making such great digs.
Another chance for the Norse. Back row. Scott will set.
She
Mbanu.
had to keep that foot behind the attack line. That was incredible by Elena Scott.
The libero cannot
So
set
many great things
from
happened.
the front court. That was remarkable.
So many. Look at that. Yo, I stayed back there.
For the footwork.
So many great things just happened in that rally.
That is incredible. And that's one of the, obviously not going to show up on the stat sheet, but even just a casual observer, maybe not going to notice that.
What a fun game this is.
Mbanu with 8 kills for the Cards. Even at 14. What a point. Louisville getting the block going here.
Good choice by Kopko, though.
And the Cards were in the net.
That was a really good choice by Kopko. Zero risk on their point, on their side, by sending it to a back row attacker.
As much credit as we wanted to lend to Anna Brinkman, Anna Burke certainly deserves a lion's share of it as well.
Absolutely.
The libero has been tremendous.
She's working
for the
her
Norse.
tail off. Oh my gosh.
I go with the exhale on the teardrop, as that was not the intent, but the necessary result, and it's a positive.
She's like, I did not mean it to be that tight.
So 15 apiece in set 3. Cards up 2-0. Tough set here. And the swing is long by Banks.
16-15. I think if Louisville wants to make put an exclamation point on the weekend. They need to just start being a little bit cleaner.
Kanakri stuffed, but the Norse keep it alive thanks to Burke's heroics. Quick middle.
That's clean. That's clean.
Anna Stevenson
A clean
smacks
block,
it to the floor.
a clean pass, cleaner volleyball.
We've been even virtually the entire set, and then there's
Boom.
a timeout. Good sense right there.
Through the middle. That's
By
how
Liz
Louisville
Hart.
wins.
So the timeout, 17-15. Louisville with the advantage.
That's Norse. That's their second timeout. That's their last timeout. So if they're going to stop the bleeding, which kind of just came on, it's got to be right now. It's a good. I would have done it too.
Well, and Patty, we saw the timeout in the first. It's Pavlovian.
Yes.
Made famous by The Hangover. That is Joker and the Thief by Wolf Mother.
No. It's the clapping monkey song.
It's the clapping monkey
now,
song.
if you have any energy left, this is when you use it.
So we found it. That's an organic adrenaline burst.
Yes.
The power of song.
Yes.
We'll see who it
And my
impacts
kids
the most.
out of town are listening right now, and hopefully wherever they were, they're standing up and clapping.
Aiko Jones found the energy as she gets the kill home. Jones
See?
approaching double digits.
They get it. They get it.
There's some Aiko Jones fans right there. We
Yes.
see some Jamaican flags on the T-shirts. Scott with the floater. Kanakri with the slide, but it's wide.
I'll tell you what, though, Yapko keeps making great decisions. She's doing a great job of spreading her offense. She's also been following the Louisville scout of see what you can do with lefty swingers.
What a pass by Stevenson. But the Cards able to dig that one out. Now left side Chaussee. Off the block again, as she does so well. Cards at 20.
Oh.
I think we need to work on the towel throwing.
But did you also just see, this was quite a dynamic. The player for Northern Kentucky went up to speak to the ref. The ref just said, go away. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Emily Scott, a senior from Appleton, Wisconsin, Kimberly High School on the North Shore of Lake Winnebago, enters the match, and the serve is a tad long as Anna Stevenson gets the break.
And here comes the lefty for the Northern Kentucky front row. See if she can cause a little trouble for
I think
Louisville.
it's fair, too, that we don't exit this match without complimenting Anna DeBeer one more time, as she was given a little bit of rest after a tremendous first two matches of this tournament. Here's Dilfer. Chaussee with a tip. Nice job by Brinkman to keep it alive.
Forehead block.
Almost a six-pack there.
Deadhead
And
hands.
the touch. But DeBeer, I think that speaks to the depth of this Cardinals squad. They maybe had a little struggle in set one, but Chaussee and Abanu have done a nice job of filling in for DeBeer, who gets a little rest. And to clarify, there's nothing wrong with her.
Absolutely.
Aiko Jones serving 4 away from sealing this match.
Oh.
And as much as she brings the positive energy, you can see her frustration right there putting that one into the net for the service error. I will say this, I'm not normally the fashionista, but I have to compliment the Louisville uniforms this year with
the fleur-de-lis.
The fleur-de-lis on the edge of the sleeve is really exquisite.
It's even on the Ali ones.
Yeah, it is. For those that don't know, it's kind of the symbol of the city of Louisville, and it's been incorporated into a lot of the uniforms. But volleyball with the subtle edge of sleeve. Claire has the black sleeves, unfortunately, covering them up, I think. But Aiko has one of the uniforms that's really easy to see. Here is Chaussee. Ooh, that had some steam in the touch, almost unavoidable. So Stan Durnabona will re-enter, replacing Hendricks and Jones with Chaussee back to serve. Danny Busboom Kelly and her squad looking to go 6-0, the best start since 2018.
Big swing.
So working the middle there, the Norse find the floor. We're not out of the woods yet if you're a Louisville fan. 22-19.
Giving some new Cardinals some time on the court. Emily Scott had a chance to see that one front row.
A lot of good things out of Sequoia Hunt, the freshman from Oldham County High School, just outside of Louisville. Serving Lillian Liner.
Oh!
Stander handcuffed by that one. Banu tries to tuck it into the corner, but it's Liner that keeps it up. And Brinkman with a swing. Off the antenna.
Off the antenna.
So now we're in a little danger zone here.
Yep.
2 timeouts left for the Cardinals, up 22-20. A lot of coaches like to see how their team handles adversity.
Brinkman didn't stop. Brinkman hasn't stopped playing.
Oh, no. And it seems like every time you need that point, it's been an error for the service. CC Rush will enter from the sunny side of Louisville, as they call it, New Albany, Indiana, Providence High School, the biology major. A service specialist waiting till the penultimate point, potentially, to come into this match.
Did you just say penultimate?
I've always been a fan of that word, so I try to sneak it in every once in a while. And
My
Banu.
second ball.
And Tillman decides,
Psych out.
yeah, you know, I'll just spin it over the net for the point. So
She is the bookend.
Rush is set here, serving a potential match point for the Cardinals.
Great serve.
Handcuff Brinkman a little bit. Yapko back to Brinkman. Why not? Stander keeps track of it. Here's Mbanu.
Oh, wow.
Got it.
That's an exclamation point.
And the Cards win it 25-22, 25-12, and 25-20.
We've seen an awesome team take care of an excellent week.